Hey everybody, it's time for another Flipping Tables, and today we have a Kickstarter prototype for you. It is a game called Here Be Dragons. It's a fantastic tile laying game. It's coming very soon to Kickstarter. So everything you see here is prototype material, so obviously subject to change pending the final release of it. But we can definitely give you an idea of what this game is all about. It's kind of like an adventure game.
It is absolutely an
It's,
adventure.
it is, yeah, you're fighting monsters, you're claiming tiles, you are gathering resources, you're upgrading your weapons and gear. It is a ton of fun, this game. Very, very simple to play and kind of simple to understand. If I'm being honest though, the instruction booklet right now needs a little bit of work.
Yeah.
Again, it's prototype.
Prototype.
It's still in progress, but basic gameplay. You start out, you choose the color you want to be. You're gonna get meeples. You're gonna get your resource cubes,
District cubes.
district cubes. Thank you. And well, there are resource cubes as well. Everybody gets a player board here with all of your stats on it, and you start in a center tile called the starting tile. Every player starts the game choosing a direction they're going to travel the first time they start their turn. And you always start your turn moving to the location you have designated. So on my turn, I'm going to move to this. And in order to go there, because it's an empty spot, I'm going to take this bag and I'm going to randomly choose a tile. And I'm going to place this tile where I decided to go. And I'm going to move there. In this particular case, this tile right here is a forest tile that allows you to gain 2 resource. You can also try to summon a 3 to 4 level monster if you decide to do so. Gameplay essentially goes around at the end of every turn. You're going to decide which direction you're going to move. The next player then does the same thing. Place your tile, choose what action you're going to take, and you are trying to upgrade your resources and upgrade your weapons. And you keep building the map. And the basic idea is you're trying to get victory points by defeating monsters, by finishing quests, that sort of thing. So you continue around building the weapon or building the land, but you can upgrade all your stuff over here.
Yeah, so you've got this awesome player board, and you start off with 0 victory points, with no money, with no resources, 2 influence. Influence is used as you build up. Once you get to 10 influence, that actually translates into a victory point for you, and your 10 health. And then you start off with your 2 district cubes here in here with your 2 sword at the bottom of the skill tree. The 2 swords get you 2 attack die. And as you build up, you spend your gold. For example, say I spend my 5 gold, I move up to a dagger. And I'll spend another 5 gold, and I'm gonna upgrade my gear. And as you continue to upgrade, it adds die. So the dagger gets me another 3 die to use in attacks. And use those when you're attacking monsters. So you'll draw a monster out. They will have a certain number of attack die as well. And you roll and sort of match up die in order to try to defeat them.
Yeah, so you're building out the map as we said before, and on the map you can claim tiles. So on this particular tile here, because there's a resource on it, it's considered a mine. So the yellow player could decide to spend 2 resource in order to put a district cube on it and claim that tile. So every turn he's going to gain 2 resources. The red player as well could do the same thing by claiming this. You purchase and you claim this mill, this logging mill, because it's a forest, to gain 2 resource every turn. You also have these tiles. These tiles allow you to place towns or villages, a fort, and a citadel. I believe it's called a citadel.
Citadel is correct.
Yes, and what you do is on your one of your first turns, you can decide, I'm going to place my town. If I was on that, I could place my town there and I could claim it. That gives me gold every turn. I have gold because of the town. I would also gain that influence every turn because I've claimed it. And the yellow player could do the same thing.
And those can only go on the plain spaces. So your forest and mountains or your
Right.
water, you can't really place a town.
This is a plains. This tower here is a plains, and this one here was a plains. It's called a safe haven.
Sanctuary.
Sanctuary. well, Sanctuary Safe Haven.
But it's
the
called a
same thing.
sanctuary.
Yes. And gameplay just continues around that. You keep going around placing tiles.
And every turn you're increasing your influence, you're increasing your resources and your gold, trying to spend them in order
That's
to
right.
improve your weapon sets and stuff like that to gain victory points as you move through.
The tiles that have a monster icon on them, which is this little icon right here, 1 to 2, that would then allow you to try to summon a level 1 to 2 monsters.
Go for it.
Here's the cards up here. This is the pile for level 1 to 2 monster, levels 3 to 4, and level 5. We should also mention that every turn, every time when you go on to a new tile, you look at an event card and you do what it says. It could be an item you get to keep, like a spell.
Yep.
It could be a quest. There are cards in here that have a little icon on it, little eye icon. This one here, Big Game Hunter. So it is asking you to find and defeat a level 5 monster. That is a quest, but it gives you
awesome
all
rewards.
of these resources plus a victory point if you actually complete this quest. Not only that, but if you defeat a level 5 monster, you get yet another victory point, and you're going to play until you get 5 or 10 victory points. So yeah, if I want to summon a monster on this 1 to 2, I would take a die from my roster and I would roll. In this case, I rolled a 1. Rolling a 1 and a 2 means you found nothing.
Nothing, no search.
If I were to roll and get a 4, I found a monster. So it's a level 1 to 2 monster. I take a monster from the deck. I see what it is. It's an Amphiptyr.
I'm sure you're pronouncing that wrong.
Yeah, probably. And so I would do. Sorry, it's not actually folk. There we go. So it actually has a feature called Fast. It's an ability, and it may re-roll 1 die. This up here is its power. So it's going to roll 2 die to attack me. And at the beginning of the game, I only have 2 dice as well. So let's throw those off. Let's just show how this would work. So with my 2 die, I would roll, and Tico would roll for the monster. So I'm going to roll. I rolled 2 4s. Oh, look at that. The monster rolled 2 3s.
So you match up highest to highest.
In this case, I actually win because my 4 beats that 3.
But wait.
This 4 beats that 3.
But wait. This monster has an effect. So it gets to actually re-roll 1.
This is the fast. It may re-roll 1 die that does not count as a hit. So Tico, you choose 1. You can re-roll for the monster. And he rolls a 1. That turned into a 5 suddenly.
Magic.
In this case, he actually defeats 1 of my dice. I am now down to 1. I actually defeated his dice. So we're both down to 1 die.
Yep. So the dice that you start with is basically your health system. You can get up to, what is the
I wouldn't say your health, it's your ability to attack. Because you do lose health. Right? This is your health track over here. If I were to lose against this monster, I'm going to lose 2 health, which is the same as his attack.
Right. In the battle, that's your health, though. Like you could start with 7 die, for example.
It's your, I would call it more like your energy to battle. Right?
Yes.
And then once you defeat the monster, it just goes up here into a discard pile, and that monster is out. You either gain the ability, if you defeat it, you're going to gain the resources, gain the rewards. If you lose against it, you lose health based on its attack power. And the game just goes around like that. You're searching for monsters on tiles. You are placing resource district cubes, and you want to place as many district cubes as you can in a row around. Sorry, these are the wrong color, but whatever. So you had district cubes here, for example.
Right.
Tico could then spend these 3 resource cubes in order to upgrade his town
to a village,
or his fort into a village. You can then again spend more resource cubes in order to upgrade your village into a fort, and more cubes into finally a citadel.
And each one of those will get you more resources and gold. So you get,
every turn.
You gain victory points, you gain influence as you upgrade your towns or up a village and up, and the higher up it is, the more gold you'll get at each turn.
This is seriously a very, very fun game. It really feels like an adventure game. on a board, very quick, easy to get into. You're really managing your money, trying to upgrade your weapons,
Yeah.
upgrade your armor, because the more if you have the longbow, you gain 4 extra dice to add to your base 2, and your chainmail gives you yet another one. So you are now sitting here with 7 dice in order to fight.
And
that now allows you to fight the 5+ monsters, which look something like this, like 5 health. It's got abilities, so 5 health, meaning it's going to fight you with 5 dice.
well, in this case here, because you're using a longbow, it's -1 die for your enemy. So again, there's
Even
extra
better.
stuff in addition to the extra dice you get. You're also, getting equipment to sort of damage your opponent
Yeah.
before you even fight.
Yeah, so it's very important to use your resources that you're collecting on the land in order to upgrade your gear, gain your victory points, and once you hit 5 or 10 victory points, you win the game.
Yeah. There's also the Devourer.
Oh yes,
the back half of the event deck. So you shuffle your deck, you split it, and you put in these corruption cards.
yes.
The corruption cards, as they come out, you're going to end up with corrupted land instead of lovely plains and stuff like that. And eventually,
there's a corrupted card.
Yeah, and eventually the Devourer is going to come out, and he is a big bad. He is worth
Big dragon.
a ton of gold, a ton of victory points, a ton
8
of
8 health on this guy.
Yeah.
But he's also worth 3 victory points if you can defeat him.
And that 10 influence will get you another. It's almost worth 4 victories. It's half a game to beat him.
Yeah, but he's powerful, and that's where you need all of your extra die. You really need to upgrade because you don't want to be unprepared when the Devourer comes out, that's for sure. And yes, lands can be corrupted. You would flip them over. You can lose health if you end a turn on corrupted land. So much going on in this game. It is super fun. I had a ton of fun playing this game. It really felt like I was playing an adventure video game.
Yeah.
And it's solid. Again, the rules sometimes, I think the rules need a little bit of tweaking just to make them more understandable, a little bit clearer. But ultimately, the gameplay is solid and it makes sense and it's very straightforward. You do this, this, and this on your turn. There's nothing really confusing about the text on the cards.
Yeah. The only thing that I would really point out is the skill tree itself could stand some arrows or something like that, so you understand which direction you have to follow these branches in order, to make sure, can I go sling to dagger, or is that a separate thing? So we figured that out, but it was a little confusing at first.
Yeah, so you're going to choose, you start here at 2, right? Because that's your 2 dice that you start with. From there, you must go up the gear level, so you have to spend 5 gold to get you some gear, and then you can spend more gold, 5, and choose a branch you're going to go through.
Yeah,
range, right? So if you eventually, you're right, yeah, that's right. Melee, ranged, magic. If you want to go melee, you're going to start with a dagger, but now you can only go up these branches up into axe and sword. If you start with sling, you're only going to go through bow and crossbow. If you start over here with the wand, you're going to go up the side of the magic and the staff. So yeah, and it also depends on where you want to go. Obviously, if you're going to go all the way up to like the Warhammer, which will give you 4 extra dice in your pool, plus you get your gear all the way up to iron plating, giving you yet another 2. Now you're definitely prepared for the Devourer.
You're ready to go.
So that is Here Be Dragons. And it's coming soon to Kickstarter. And again, we're going to talk to one of the developers of this game very soon. So once we get that done, look for that interview. We'll put a link right up there for you to check that out. Check out Here Be Dragons on Kickstarter soon. If you like reviews like this, if you like listening to developers talk about their stuff, give us a subscribe down below and you'll get notified whenever we put out new content, which we are doing almost daily. Check out the link down below.
There be OMG Nexus. There.
Thank you so much for joining us.